Hey everybody, my name is Professor Cheryl Sowen and I want to formally welcome you to IH1 The Good Life Online. I'm going to be giving you a very brief tour of our Canvas site to help you orient yourselves to the website and see how I would like you to flow through it. And then I will also put up another video a little bit later today reviewing the syllabus and the course assignments and some of the course goals for this semester. So this is really a video just to kind of get you oriented, and I'm not even formally introducing myself here. We'll be doing that together as a class on our first VoiceThread, and I'll explain and show VoiceThread to you momentarily. So here we are on our Canvas homepage. I guess I'll go back one page and show you that when you hop on your Canvas site through your TU portal, you'll see all the courses that you're enrolled in this semester. These are courses that I'm teaching or involved in one way or another. And you'll notice that for your general education courses online, you should have a Canvas card, I guess I'll call it, with this Temple University General Education image on it. Some professors will substitute a different image in their face-to-face classes. For the online ones, we're really supposed to keep this one. So it should be hopefully easy for you to find. And then you go ahead and click on it, and here we are on our opening page. So hopefully you've been here already and you've read a bit about the course, listened to the Kanye song, and then looked at the required texts for the class. I know a couple of you noted that the ISBN numbers are a little bit different in the bookstore versions of the text, but that just means they're newer editions that have come out recently, and they should be fine. If you're nervous at all that you don't have the right edition, just send me an email, show me a picture, or give me the detailed publication date and information on the text, and I'll let you know if it's the right one or not. It's a really good idea to try to get all of your books at the beginning of the semester. That's when there are the most number of used copies available at the bookstore, and there are a million sections of IH 851 online and face-to-face, and many of us are using all the same books, so sometimes they can sell out if you wait until the last minute to get them. If you're having any trouble getting a hold of the books, please reach out to me and you and I can try to problem solve ways to do that. I have information here about my office hours, and my office is in Anderson Hall in 516. You'll see that on the syllabus page. Anyway, read through this introduction, and then you'll notice that I tell you after you're done to click the Start Here button to get started, so that's where we're headed next. Here on the Start Here button is where you're going to find some of the same information that I sent to you in my welcome email, all of the tech, hardware, and software that you need to be able to manage this course. You do need to get really comfortable using Canvas, and I have a link to a guide here for you to use. And then I do have a note that this is an asynchronous learning program, and I mentioned and described what that is, but just as a reminder, we are never meeting virtually all together at the same time. We could try to do that during the semester if people want to, but it is not a requirement of this course, although I do expect you to log in and engage with the material several times a week and respond several times a week, but you can really do that on your own time. This video here is an introduction to VoiceThread. It's the primary way in which I will be talking to you and sharing information and knowledge about the course content, and the main way in which you will be talking to me and each other. So it's really important to get familiar and comfortable with VoiceThread right away, today if possible. So I will put that introductory VoiceThread up before 5 p.m. tonight. And then you should try to get on there this evening or tomorrow at the very latest and make your first VoiceThread response. It's extremely easy, and this video shows you exactly how to do it. Okay, course tour, check out the video below to get oriented. I'm making this video right now, so it will end up here in a few minutes. And then again, I have a list of the texts. I have an explanation of how the course is paced, and the overarching learning goals for the course. And I'll talk about those goals when we review the syllabus, but I want to say a little something about the pace of the course here. I've organized it into 3 modules or units, and we'll be covering 7 texts over the next 14 to 15 weeks. The course is seminar style, and so rather than just straight lecture with you taking notes and then taking quizzes and tests to show that you've listened and read and understood, we'll be having conversations together about this material, in some ways almost like a book club, but we'll be focusing on building and improving very specific types of critical thinking skills throughout the semester. You'll see under each module a weekly page. I'll provide you with supplemental material to help ground you as you begin to read the text on your own. This material might be video, audio, it might be printed articles for you to read, and I will always indicate to you what is mandatory for you to engage with on Canvas and what is optional. I also will post the lecture and discussion voice threads on Mondays and Wednesdays by 5 p.m. and you have about 48 hours to make comments on those voice threads back to your peers and to me. So Monday's lectures or voice threads are due on Wednesday, and Wednesday's comments are due on Fridays. Aside from weekly participation in these voice thread videos, you'll have written assignments. Those are typically due on Sundays. Sometimes I'll give an extension on those to the whole class if we're really involved in a discussion or I see that we need more time. And 11:59 p.m. is the cutoff time for submitting all assignments. After that, they are marked late, and usually you get a 5-point deduction on written assignments for every day that they're late. Voice threads are very difficult to make up. Really missing a voice thread is like being absent from class. That's the best way to think about it. So I'm going to show you what this looks like now. So we're going to move on. We'll go back to the home page here, and I'll explain how that goes. The next thing that you can check out is the syllabus. Many of you have done this already. You can print a hard copy of it here. There's a rich text format here. If you need a screen reader for the course, you can click on it and it will be recognized right away. Again, the way that the course is paced is introduced to you here, the technologies that we need, and all of that good stuff. When you get down to grades, policies and services, and course schedule, these are links, right? So you see them, they're in blue. If you click on them, you will find an explanation for class participation and how the voice threads work, a grading scale, and then the same thing with the soundtrack blog. And a couple of you have emailed me and are really curious about the soundtrack. I'll go into that in more detail on the next video. It's usually one of my students' favorite assignments. I absolutely love reading them and grading them. And then you'll have several projects, 2 mini projects and 1 larger project at the end of the semester, and I'll talk to you more about those in the weeks to come. If you click on the next link, it will lead you to policies and support services. Please read this very carefully. Check out the links. There are a tremendous number of resources on campus for you if you're struggling at all or you just want more help. I do have a statement on netiquette and proper online behavior. I have always had the best students who are kind and gracious to each other, conscientious about appropriate behavior online, and so I typically don't need to worry about reinforcing this policy, but it's one to be aware of as well. Okay, so take a look at all of the services and resources, and if there's a resource that you need and you don't see the information here on this page, reach out to me and I will make sure to connect you with the right person. The course schedule of readings and assignments come next. This is also available on the hard copy of your syllabus to print out and take it with you to work or to your other classes, or to have near your planner where you manage your time. But you'll notice the units, Unit 1, Unit 2, and Unit 3. You'll notice that these units are framed as questions rather than as like a thematic statement. And so one of the things that you can do as you begin reading independently for a particular text is to consider the ways in which that text answers these questions. You'll see that I have the course paced as a Monday, Wednesday course for me to put content up. So I will have lecture and discussion on the introduction to this course up today, and your comments are due on Wednesday. And then on Wednesday I will have Epic of Gilgamesh up, and your comments are due on Friday. As a rule, it's a good idea to have the reading done before you engage with the VoiceThread lecture, although I have built the lectures, the first lecture for each week on a text in such a way that you can listen to some of it prior to reading or as you're reading, and then you can pause the VoiceThread, do the reading, and then hop back on to answer discussion questions. So you can figure out the right flow for you. But my expectation is that you'll have read tablets 1 and 2 prior to listening to VoiceThread number 2, and so on and so forth. Oh, sorry, I have Blackboard here. That's supposed to be Canvas. I'll go in and change that. And then you'll see when deadlines are. You'll notice that if a written assignment is due, so the first soundtrack assignment is due on the 9th of September, that should be in bold with some asterisks in front of it just to highlight the due date for you, and so on and so forth. So that's the way the syllabus rolls, or the course schedule rolls. I'm going to show you modules now. So if you started at home, that was the first page we were on, you can always go back to the home page, but you'll always notice this navigation bar on the left-hand side of Canvas, and this is where you can hop around to different areas of the site. Modules is a really useful one because it shows you the entire semester in outline form. Now I say shows you, but of course I have many of the modules hidden right now because I don't have all of the content up or updated. You'll notice that these two have a green bar next to them. That's because they are published. So right now, until I publish the rest of this Start Here unit, you can only see the welcome and the Meet the Instructor and the syllabus page. Course overview and orientation I'm about to publish now. And then you'll notice that this is organized by in a kind of an outline format. So I'm just going to show you what Module 1 looks like, which you'll really be focusing on Wednesday. So if you click on the Intro to Module 1, I'll talk to you about some of the main themes in this module. I'll give you the course goals and the assignments and how the assignments connect to those course goals. And then I'll introduce you to the 2 texts that you're going to be looking at for the semester. You should then be able to click on the first one and, or you can click the next button and you'll get a weekly checklist of everything that you need to do for this week. I do have a hard copy of it that you can download and print and take with you. If I'm going to make any kinds of revisions to our flow, our course flow, changing deadlines or flipping assignments, that will be done on this weekly checklist, and I will send you an email notification of that so that you are aware of what we've changed. But I try not to diverge too much, especially at the beginning of the semester, from what is originally printed. By the middle of the semester, sometimes I will change the pace of the course, especially if a lot of you are asking for material to be posted earlier, then usually I have to shift a lot of deadlines for that to happen. So at any rate, you'll see you can make a virtual check mark here, or you can print it out and use this checklist. If you click the next button, it will take you from the checklist to our thematic page on Epic of Gilgamesh. And here you'll notice that, again, I have the checklist in case you want to reference it. I also have directions on how to engage with the material. And what I'd like you to do here for this first week is watch a quick introduction to the Epic of Gilgamesh, and then look at the Sumerian creation myth on the Big Myth website. And then sometimes I will have supplemental material that is not required, and I will always note that for you, so you can look at it if you want to, but if you're short for time, you absolutely don't have to. Once you've engaged with this first page, you can click the next button and you'll see that frequently I'll have discussion questions posted here for you to look at, but they are also always printed in the VoiceThread themselves, so you'll see them there as well. And then let me see if this is Oh, and then I do have a PDF version of Epic of Gilgamesh that you can use in a pinch if for some reason the edition from the bookstore is sold out. So you can check this one out. It's not ideal, but it's there for you. And then lastly, when we get to our next week on Epic of Gilgamesh, you'll notice again the weekly checklist. You'll see what I'd like you to watch. Here it is. And then I give you information on how to engage with the VoiceThread material as well. Now I'm going to pop out of scrolling next and go back to modules here because sometimes it's a little bit easier again to see the flow in modules. What you're going to notice here, and again this isn't something you can see yet but you will soon, is, let me see if I can give an, oh here it is. All right, so when I post a VoiceThread, it will be, you'll see VT and then you'll see the number of the VoiceThread and the title. Now of course I don't have them made yet because I make them for you as we go, but if you click on the link, what it should do is take you to any prompt material that I want you to think about and engage with. And then down here would be the actual VoiceThread. The reason why you just see this page is because this VoiceThread doesn't exist yet. When it does, you'll simply be able to click on it and engage with the material, and you should be able to make your comments right in the VoiceThread section. And again, I'll go into more detail about that in another video. So that's essentially how you scroll through the course. I have the discussion forum links in the module exactly where and when you need to engage with them, and I have the links to assignments also placed in the module, when and where you need to submit them. So it is pretty well organized and easy to negotiate. I want to show you one little trick though that students have found very helpful. If you go to the sidebar, not the navigation menu, but the sidebar with all of these icons, you will see a calendar icon. And if you click on it, you'll notice, hopefully, that your courses will come up on the right-hand side here. And let's see, we're in August. Oh, let's move to September. And for each course, when you have something due, it should show up on the calendar. Now you can click on this link and it will take you to the prompt. So if you've already gone through the module in Canvas and you know where this assignment fits in context, you can always access them this way as well. And that should show up for all of your courses. So it's a neat way to see, what your time is like and when deadlines are due, because each course will show up color-coded differently. So if I click on my other classes here, let's see if I can get them to show up. There we go. So you can see how I have other material due in other classes on the same day that material is due in this class. So I really like this calendar function. You as a student can create new events. So if you have assignments in other courses and your professors haven't built them into Canvas and they don't show up organically, you can add that in there too, and really use the calendar to manage your time well for this course and for your other classes. So that is my initial introduction, and on the next video I'm going to go over the syllabus in more detail and try to anticipate some questions that you might have. I want to also show you that while you're waiting for me to make that video, if you're interested, you can take a listen to my, let's see where it is. All right, it's not in this one. Hang on. Oh, that's because I didn't publish it yet. You can get some advice from my students from last semester who will talk to you about their experience in the course, what they wish they had done at the beginning that they didn't start doing until the middle of the semester, and all of that great stuff. So this is my fall 2017 online class. I do have advice from my spring online class too. I haven't made that advice video yet, so if I get a chance to do that in the next couple hours, I'll pop that advice up there as well. But usually the advice is pretty consistent from semester to semester. So listen to that and you'll hear more about how to be successful in this class. All right, I look forward to meeting you, and apologize in advance for all of these lengthy intro videos, but think of this as syllabus day in class, where you sit and your professor talks to you about expectations and how to be successful in class, because it's pretty much the same thing. If you have any questions, shoot me an email or feel free to ask them on the First Voice thread, and I will answer them for you and maybe for everybody else, so that we're all on the same page. Talk to you soon. Bye.